Hello. We are here with another Amnian Nights. We are without Monkey today, unfortunately. But don't worry, Luca is going to give us the summary of last week's session, which for us was 2 days ago.
So we woke up from a long rest, said good morning to Milton, dealt with our hangovers. Sire went and got us breakfast and coffee. Atticus mentioned that he had a contact named Mila at the Adventurers Guild, and we discussed all the things that we could potentially do that day, but really it came down to we need coin really, really bad. Asher took the last of her little potion, and everyone went out to Milton's, where they found Lethan, who was some blonde dude, formerly with black hair, running the shop, and Atticus introduced himself as Hickory, and then threw down, and we got in a fight. Asher accidentally succeeded in killing every dude she looked at. Then one of the guys at the shop, one of the criminals, went out the upper floor window, and we tangled with some guards. So I leaned into acting very much the victim, which wasn't really that far off from the truth. I don't feel like we ever actually lied. It was just playing it up a little bit for the guards. They go and get Milton to corroborate our story. We met Commander Grimes, and the criminal that they apprehended, the last man standing from our altercation, was named Altman Peabody. So Asher boots and rallies, and then we go on to the Blink Dog.
Before you carry on, my favourite piece of trivia about Ormond Peabody, he has very, very good hearing and very good memory. I particularly enjoyed it when he was stood there, kept alive, and you all provided your full names to the guards. Carry on, sorry.
Cool. So we go to the Blink Dog, which is like some rundown old man pub, but the guy gives us a blue brick to use as a secret key down into the secret club, where there's a pickpocketing koala named Worf, that Sire cuddles with. There is some dude that introduced himself as the courier, that acted like he was super honest, but he was in fact maybe not so honest. Brick the barkeep will pay 10 gold for a many-fingered hand. And then Sire gambled with the dealer named Viper and Higgins, who was down on his luck. And then we met with Zento and Ardeth in the little secret meeting room, and we get to level up.
How is it a secret room? Just a back office?
Sure, whatever.
Just a regular door?
Like
just an innocent door? Just a normal door?
Just a normal door. Yeah, sure.
Well done. You can have an inspiration for that adequate.
Yay!
That adequate.
Do you apply that? Do I apply that?
You can, in your character sheet, click the inspiration die, and it will slowly blue pulse until you tick it off in the future. So yeah, we are in the Blink Log. I've spoken with Atticus a little bit about things that he would say and do in this interaction that we are without him for. Yeah, let's... pick up where we left off. Clicky-clack, Gija.
God damn it.
Can't be any worse than mine. So yeah, it is the four of you, Zento and Ardeth. I have learned that sadly, no matter what I do, I can't, the way our little cool NPC talking heads pop up the side, I can't get that to pick up on stream. So I will remind the viewers what these characters look like. This is Zento. And this is Ardeth. And yeah, the sounds of a club are a little quieter. And the manner of the two of them, Ardeth looks to be sat quite all business. Zento is not seated. He's more leant back against the wall. Well, actually leaning against the other doorway in this room. Looking rather entertained by everything that's going on. And yeah, Ardeth sort of looks across you all and says, speaks very well to your qualities that you have come here so expediently to make payment back on the courtesy that was shown to you in the prison, yes?
Just trying to return any favors owed.
And hopefully it can lead to more than that if you are agreeable, if you find the sort of work that we undertake to be to your liking, and of course if you find the coin and the benefits adequate to your needs.
What sort of work do you undertake then?
We have many vested interests across the city and nearby outside. We do not pretend to be a legitimate organization, but we do have the best interests of the city at heart. There's a lot of corruption. And two things we do not dabble in. We do not like slavers, and we do not like the filth that washes in through the docks and addles the minds of the citizens. Which is specifically what I wish to talk to you about, and perhaps how we can benefit each other. You've already shown that you have a aggressive inclination towards thugs and bandits, yes? This
Not
much,
typically a fan.
this much was
I would
demonstrated.
say we have an aggressive inclination towards protecting the innocent.
I think in this case, they can be one and the same. If there were a modern Kynan graph, their circles would overlap perfectly in this issue. There is a substance that is flowing into the city through the docks. It's called silk root. It is highly addictive, highly dangerous. A brief moment of euphoria and heightened senses leads to days of debilitating headaches, nausea, but worst of all, the incessant requirement for more. It is already causing havoc in the wave districts, where some of the more poorer housing is. And now there are reports, and our men are finding it in the river district and even as far in as the central district. Cannot be allowed to spread like a fire throughout the city. People are only just recovering from the effects of last year, that nasty business up north. There was paranoia, there was many people turning to drink, turning to drugs. We cannot allow this to spread. But there are complications that prevent the Night Eyes from getting involved. This organization are from abroad. They have friends amongst some of the more corrupt elements of the Guard. You would have seen yourself, no doubt, when you were first incarcerated in the city. The Guards, for the most part, are ruthlessly corrupt. They sell any with magical inclination onto the cowled wizards. They are themselves little more than slavers. They simply wear the heraldry of a city. And this is why I have no concern over taking life when we liberate our own from the city. Does this gang have powerful friends among the council? And the guards are ever watching us, so we cannot engage with them. But you are not of the Night Eyes. Your activities this morning have already seemingly earned you coin from the guards, yes? The stipend for bashing thugs. I feel like you are in a position to go and deal with this problem directly. You would be eliminating criminals and drug peddlers from the city. And of course, we would compensate you very well for your service. To be less vague, 10 gold pieces each. If you destroy this drug den, root and stem. At this point, Atticus would pigeon chest a little bit and talk up the dangers of such a mission and how 10 gold seems a rather paltry sum. And they stare at each other for a moment, and you almost hear the strange sound of a plastic dice roll on a table unseen. And Ardeth smiles, seemingly having been persuaded by Atticus's argument. He smiles. You can tell that he's clearly aware of the sales pitch that Atticus is doing. What is it? After a bit of a forgive me, I thought your capabilities, this would not be difficult to work, but maybe I have the wrong people. But it's clearly it's clearly in jest, and in the end Ardeth says, I can renegotiate. We could say 15 gold per person on the basis that you do not manage to alert every guard within several blocks, as I hear that you did this morning. Discretion would be key here. And of course, I can see what else I can do for you all to continue furthering our relationship. For example, Atticus, I can certainly lean into my connections and see what orders around the city are currently accepting new initiates. And Atticus
Why don't we do
looks
one favor
pleased
for
by
a
that.
favor first? Like she's gonna like put her hand on her breast, like, you know, you gave us a favor and you're offering us money to pay. Let's just focus on this conversation first. And this organization, the drug criminals, do they have a name?
They do not seem to be operating under a name. We don't even know the name of the leader. Just the building we have identified as being where they are storing, making, concocting, whatever is involved in the creation of the Silk Route.
So you do not know if this is made in the city or just imported?
We do not. It is far away enough from the docks that we suggest. We believe that it is being made there. If it was a matter of just import, they would probably be operating out of a warehouse on the docks, which is further within the city.
How long have they been doing this? Sounds like one doesn't just wake up one morning and find a highly addictive compound.
We
And the
first
recipe
began
to make
hearing
it.
about Silk Route about 3 months ago.
It surprises me. Your organization, the Night Eyes, seems much more established than 3 months ago, and this happened right under your noses without you knowing who could potentially be behind or financing something like this?
These things tend to sneak in gradually. The first set of addict can be someone who just seems to be too deep in their cups in the street. But as I said, once we have started to investigate it, we have found quite a bit of pushback from the city itself. The guards in particular. You saw how Quintessa was snatched off the street?
Is that what happened?
It is.
I'm gonna need an insight check, inciting how truthful and how is Art of keeping anything that he's not saying. I'm sure he is, but
Yep. I will, as ever, have him make a deception check, as I do with everybody. You make your insight check for me.
it's not. I'm not particularly insightful. That is a lot of deception.
He is maintaining such open. He's calm. He's not someone who is super friendly and endearing, but his manner is so sort of businesslike, but doesn't seem closed off. He's big on the eye contact, a bit intense on the eye contact actually, and yeah, seems to be very frank with his words. He clearly isn't thinking them over much or, thinking how to spin them or present them. He just speaks very, very openly.
All right, well, where do we need to go?
Wait. I'm not done. The Silk Route. Once we deal with your drug dealer's problems, what will you do with it?
My hope would be that you will destroy any and all that you find. If you were to bring any back here, that is all I would be doing with it. Carrying it risks loss, risks temptation. Anyone has a particularly high... Let me just check something. Obsidian, as he says temptation, you notice but for a brief moment his eyes just flick over towards, just flip to Asher for a fraction of a second. Yeah, I would find it most suitable if this place was burnt to the ground once you had concluded your business there. Any documentation you could find regarding the origin of it or import, the source of this Silk Route, would be infinitely more valuable than any instances of it. It is not a trait that we wish to commandeer for ourselves. What say you?
I'm just gonna glance at Sadie to see if she's good.
She's looking at Atticus.
Atticus, having heard all this information, is... You know your brother enough to tell that he is all for doing this, and he just seems to be his legs bouncing ever so slightly. He's just clearly waiting for you to be on board with it. He is game.
Well, It does sound like we'd be bashing heads, earning money, and potentially helping people. Feels like it would satisfy most of our needs.
Will you point out the address or place you suspect this truck is coming from?
I will. They receive shipments or take deliveries, I believe, in the evenings. So it might be best if you do not go there until tomorrow. Especially as I believe that Atticus will have to go back to the inn shortly to sleep off his hangover a bit more.
You are looking a little bit green, brother.
But yes, I can...
And it
is it?
Contessa's research scouting. Do you know more or less how many people would be facing inside? More or less.
She has seen around 6 or 7 entering, coming and going. Never the same faces.
All human?
All human. Zento sort of leans forward because she actually said one of them was a halfling. Ah, as you hear, a halfling.
I think this is well within our capabilities. However, if you did have any quick healing draughts to hand, we'd gladly take them. We won't use it if it's not needed and can return it.
Everyone make me an insight check.
The perception is so much higher. Insight.
Asha, you just pick up the slightest tilt of the head and just a beat's pause from Ardef, as if he's hearing something, waiting for something. We can do this. I have nothing of this sort here, but we can put you in contact with an apothecary that we trust. He will be able to provide you with, and just that briefest pause as maybe he's thinking on it, 2 potions of healing.
That'd be great. Much appreciated.
His name is Agrippa. I shall add the details to that note. But for the day, very well. Do we all need to shake, or is Sire speaking for all of you?
I speak for no one but myself.
I don't need to shake, but I'm all in.
Likewise. Say, would you happen to know anything more about Lethan and his gang? And whether we should fear anything from that side, or is it handled if the man is dead?
I think that there is little of a concern there. Lethan was little more than a thug who had managed to kill several other thugs and was beginning to gather a small cadre of sycophants. He was not with any organization. He was not with us. He was not with the Shadow Thieves. He was an independent agent with the beginnings of a gang. I believe there were 6 or 7 properties that he had sufficiently intimidated into paying protection. You know how these things begin. But perhaps even the Shadow Thieves themselves began by bullying a merchant or two. Who can say?
We've been told about bugbears. Haven't seen those.
There may have been some others in his coterie where he may have been hiring muscle from some mercenary or another.
So you figure all that will disband?
I could not say for certain, but knowing the way of such things, it seems likely. Did you leave any standing?
We did actually.
Did you have a name?
Yeah, Peabody.
His name I do not know. Given the nature of things, would you feel more comfortable if Peabody became a nobody?
I don't think there's a need for that.
Very well. Should your opinion on this matter change, and come and tell me, or Zenta, or Quintessa.
Talking about origins, how did the Night Eyes originate?
We were a cadet branch of the Shadow Thieves originally, and we still overlap on our dealings with them every so often, but interesting imports of a military nature is how we began. Certain black powder weapons at a time when such things were more heavily regulated, enough to eke out several establishments such as this, but now that black powder is legitimate, we have diversified slightly, but we stay away from, of course, the two issues I mentioned to you earlier.
But how does an organization like this maintain its source of funding? You are not interested in trading illegal materials anymore, and there is little going to be made for, let's just say, protecting the weak.
There is money in property and the passing of the right laws and the right statutes, and we deal in trade and bureaucracy more than cloaks and daggers for the most part.
DM, would Sila have known the name of the Shadow Thieves from before, or like, obviously I'm not sure,
From,
like, if
from
the
before
Night
this
Eyes
conversation?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everyone in Faerun would know that the Shadow
Knows it,
Thieves are, like, the Thieves Guild of Athkatla.
but not from operations outside of Katla. You know what I mean?
I think they also are in Waterdeep, but not as big, I think. So yeah, on a national level, they would be you would know, everyone would know the Shadow Thieves by name. Maybe not Obsidian until too long ago.
Sila looks like she's finished with this conversation for now.
Right? Should we get going?
Go and see Agrippa. He will get you what you need. And then take the day. You had a busy morning. I would not act on this information until tomorrow.
We'll find you
once-
here when it's done.
You will, yes. With payment. And depending on how it goes, and if you like the weight of the coin, We can talk about other work, but one job at a time, as you say, yes?
Mm-hmm. All right.
Is he
I'll stand up.
eternal optimist that I am? I will make good on my offer to begin investigating these nightly orders in your absence. Is there any other favor in the city that each of you would ask of me? A connection to be made, a item to be located. I do not know why each of you are here, and I must say, gestures to you, Obsidian, you in particular are very much an enigma to me.
I have found the connection that I was looking for. My needs aren't many.
Very well.
Can I get back to you on that?
Of course.
Okay. And
Well, I
I'll
wish
go
you
to
were-
make for the door.
Yes, Zento, you will see that you should take the day, do something nice with Quintessa, take her out. I had dinner, yes? Everyone make me an insight check.
Ooh. This is Asher's thing.
Yeah, Asher, you get the briefest flit of exasperation on Zento's face before he's like, "Of course. Very generous of you." Good, Zen. And Ardef stands. Have a fruitful day, and may tomorrow's labors be swift and efficient.
All right.
The courier opens the door and steps back, letting you all pass.
I didn't see any vampires.
Just laughs. I'm going to delete Atticus on the map so I'm not just trailing around behind you. Obsidian, as you are heading up a room, you see Ardef open the other door just as the courier closes it, and you see Ardef step into a room beyond that room. And yeah, you are back in the tavern. Oh, the map is... Oh, there we go. Yeah. If I click on Zento, the map disappears. Clearly, I don't have vision or ownership over him. Oh, well. So... Yeah, and Zento goes back down and starts chatting to Quintessa, who seems very excited to see him as he approaches. And yeah, it is before review, but also kind of the three of you. Atticus rapidly makes an excuse to go back and lie down. Poof, and like that, he's gone.
I'd love to stop by that apothecary, maybe check out the markets. I just want to make sure to be back at the coronet by evening.
Asher, you feel a slight
Meet up with my
scratching at your
contact.
shoulder. And you see a small koala leaning out from a tree, who keeps sort of doing a hug gesture out towards you.
There is a small bear on that tree.
Oh, this is Worf. It is very sweet. It is trained to pick your pocket.
Sweet, you say?
Mm.
I think so.
Look at those claws.
I give him scratches. Who's a good little bear? You are a good
I'm
little
gonna-
bear.
keep my distance and just kind of walk along the wall from it.
I wonder what they eat.
Silk root, exclusively silk root.
All right. Bye for now. Scratch, scratch, scratch.
Looks like food itself.
Wonder if old Brick would give us 10 gold for his hands. Yeah, got an extra thumb there.
Jesus Christ.
I wonder what the spit is for.
Even as you say it, you see several patches are stained with dried blood, and you spot more than one loose tooth on the sand.
I wonder if it's like a competition or something you can sign up for, or if it's just a place to settle some debts.
You can always ask another time.
Or maybe not at all. Don't accidentally volunteer for anything.
Accidentally?
Yeah.
The doorman and his chained intellect devourer see that you're going and give you a nod and step to the side. He does leave a lingering, appreciative glance on Atticus as you go. And yeah, you leave the Blink Dog.
Too many freaky pets for me at that place.
The dog that blinks.
Yeah, as you head back out through the shop, the elderly barkeep, like before even the first of you is fully through the door, he's like, Brick, let's have it. People leave this. I used to tie a huge wooden stick around it so people couldn't go out with it in their pocket by accident. And they started just taking the stick as well. So give it, thank you. If you come back, you can get it again. And yeah, you are back out on the streets after that.
All right. I'll pick the direction that I believe the apothecary is in. We were given an address, right? I will start walking after kind of doing like the visual, like, yeah, this way with everyone.
Mm-hmm. As we walk towards the apothecary, Sita would keep her large eyes very peeled, picking up anything unusual from the streets, what the usual people look like, what they seem to be doing. Is there anyone having a hushed conversation? Is there anyone that looks in need of help? Just sort of like, she's not walking looking at the floor or the sky, she's walking looking at people.
She's taking in the city as she's going, yeah?
Yeah.
And yeah, give me let me start that up.
Perception.
Yes. I do not have the street playlist coming through. Do you have sound coming through?
Yeah,
Street sounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's ambience, it's not music.
Yeah. For some reason, I don't have it.
Well, sucks to your Asmar.
It's true.
Don't have it either.
It does indeed suck to my asthma. Let me hit a refresh. But yeah, as we're walking along, what was your roll? Sorry, Silly?
18.
18. Yeah, you see this part of town is closer to some of the larger merchant areas. So you do see more shops, although it is only around 9. So a lot of them just seem to be opening up for the first bout of trade of a day. There we go. The sound's back for me. Most of the people seem happy. There's not too much of a way of, desperate looking vagrants and criminals and cutthroats and pickpockets. You know that cities that have large thieves guilds tend to have things very, very well organized. As you're walking along, roll a d12 for me, Siri. And we'll see what you see as you're walking along. Anything in particular that jumps out to you?
10.
10. Let's have a look. And as you're walking along, you see there is, for such a grubby part of town, there's suddenly a very short, straight, narrow street that cuts between two blocks that is much cleaner than everything else. The cobbles are clearly washed down and don't have all that cart muck, and you'll see that a lot of the buildings are 2 stories, and even with the modest buildings, they have little balconies out on the front that have like red and dark reds and purple sort of silk drapes hanging down to the streets, which, for how modest the street is in terms of architecture, really, really jumps out. And you'll see quite a few handsome, attractive people just sort of stood out chatting or generally loitering, and you'll see a sign at the entrance of the street as you're walking by with a very beautiful a gold leaf calligraphed sign saying the street of negotiable affections.
I found the red light district. Over there. It looks cleaner than usual. It's quite nice. DM, I have a question. Ciri doesn't seem to have her toolkits that she would have made good use in her background, in their items. Is that our toolkits maybe get lost through the prison, or is that by design, or should they be there?
I think one of your toolkits in particular would have been confiscated going into prison. The other one you would probably still have. Yeah, your more day-to-day
one. The more artisanal one.
Yeah,
okay.
You'd probably still have that. I feel like that was a custom toolkit.
Okay, then I might just put it in my inventory just so I know that I have it. Okay. How are you feeling? She's looking at Asher, of course. My brother seems to have had pretty terrible hangover, but you seem to be doing okay.
I've felt worse. If I'm being honest, and seems like we're all friends here. A little queasy about this morning more than anything from last night. Not used to fighting. Not my favorite thing.
Could have fooled me. Your magics are powerful. Are you trained?
You will. She's not going to try and hide it, so you'll definitely catch. She kind of glances upwards for a second. It's like, yeah, I was not expecting it to be so effective. Just kind of happened. But no, haven't trained. It's just one of those things you're born with, I guess. Whether you want it or not. Yeah. But
You're making
how many times have you done that?
Well, I've been doing it since I was a little girl. But you're doing something with your face, like there is a strange expression, like what you are saying is causing you some sort of distress. I don't mean to distress you.
No distress, just normal daily stuff.
We seem to just have agreed to do another bit of violence in the name of the good for the city, are you going to be okay?
I mean, yeah, we owed a favor for getting us out of jail, so seems we're in for this. I didn't realize it would be so much. There's just a lot of blood, a lot of people that just aren't there anymore. Which is a lot to wrap my mind around. It's all good though. And she'll do a very deliberate like shrug as if it doesn't matter at all.
No, actually, it does matter. It matters a lot. It is when it stops mattering that you should be concerned. Every life you take, it's a decision, and you have to live with it. And if you make the wrong decisions, it can haunt you. It's good that you care.
That doesn't seem like anything that I want to do on a daily basis. So I'd rather just shrug it off and just try and get through the day. Not think about it too much. I was gonna ask if you guys did you catch that weird moment between Ardith and Zento earlier? I feel like we should try and casually, gently find out more about Contessa.
I did not see anything.
It seemed almost like Ardith was like, I don't know. Zento, Contessa seem like an item romantically, but it's weird to me that a boyfriend would have to take orders on how to be a boyfriend from someone else, not in the relationship.
There's too much realism in this game.
So I don't know. It's one of those where it's like, does she just have connections and they're smoozing her for those connections, or what's going on there? And I'm very clearly, obviously trying to change the subject.
I completely missed all of that. Honestly, all I could see is Santa putting his tongue straight into her mouth.
Yeah. Just
Perhaps we
seems
can
like
go
maybe
back.
she's more into it than Zento is. Like, maybe by Ardith's, direct involvement. It's a little weird. Thought it was a little weird. Figured I'd mention it.
Is this somehow our business?
No, not at all. I guess I'm just a little curious by nature.
I'm pretty sure
Alright.
that keeping lots of secrets from us, this would not be. If this was one, it probably would not be the only one.
Yeah.
But it seems that we can pay our debt and see what. Perhaps that's the end of it.
Yeah. It was a lot to swallow, his whole we're the good bad guys, we're the noble criminals, like that kind of shtick is always a whole lot to take down.
So, do you all just not like them? Not trust them?
I don't know about not like. They seem fine, but definitely not trust.
My experience is that everything is a little bit black and white. Sorry, nothing is black and white. Everything's a little bit gray.
All right, you had me worried there for a second.
The firebrand whiskey is coming up. And these organizations, they need funding. They need money to keep things going. I don't like the I assume every guard is corrupt, therefore I will take life. It's too easy, too simple. I don't like that we could say a word and a man would die, a thug, of course, and a criminal, for sure. But when you start thinking you have the ability to decide who lives and who dies, and worse, you think you have the moral high ground in deciding those things, it just always gets a little bit tricky.
Yeah, yeah. And Asher's visibly like kind of like, "Ooh, I don't like this morality conversation." Just like, yep, yeah, totally. I'm looking forward to getting to the markets though. Love to get into an actual apothecary shop, make some potions, potentially get some ingredients.
Yeah,
Maybe
potion
make
maker.
us some healing potions, like you're asking our death. Yeah, it's a passion of mine. That's why I'm here in Athkatla, trying to love to open up my own stall in the market, sell potions.
Looks
Hopefully.
like opening any kind of stall around here comes with a danger.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that once you're actually in the shop of the bazaar, things are pretty good. Pretty hard to get a shop there, though. I'll have to work my way up, I'm sure. Get to know all the right people. But on my way. I got that meet tonight at the Coronet. Should help.
An investor?
No, I don't think an investor. As I furiously check my notes. What was it again, GM? It was someone who it was
you were very drunk.
Yeah, it was a contact. Basalt was gonna hook me up with a contact. There's a whole leapfrog thing, Sarah. Like, I delivered a thing to Basalt. Basalt's gonna deliver to me a guy, and from that guy, we'll see where it goes. But eventually, after so many iterations of this, hopefully, you will be looking at the owner of a new potion stall in the shop at the bazaar.
Do you have a name for your stall yet?
No, I've been thinking of it. I think, a pun should obviously be part of it, right? But I've thought of it, but it's not really a talent of mine to come up with cool names like that. But I got time.
My brother has a talent for it. Although talent is a generous word to describe it. Speaking of which, what are your intentions with my brother?
What?
Well, I saw you talking and playing Never Have I Ever. I mean, it's a game that you play to, get a little bit closer to each other, no? Yes?
But he offered me to play.
I mean,
Yeah.
Atticus
What
is
are
a
your
wild
intentions, Obsidian? That's what we should be asking.
My intentions are to keep him safe.
Oh, see? There we go. Safety. That's all of our intention.
Well, he's got a good heart.
Mm.
Just, be careful with it.
Hey,
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I just want my potion stall. I'm not trying to have. I have no intentions. Anyways, have we checked if we're being followed or anything? Leaving a place like that, and I'm gonna look around, just see if we actually are.
Yeah, you've been walking the city about 10 minutes. Make me a perception check.
Yeah. Asher's too distracted by her desire to crawl in a hole and die right now to accurately tell if someone's following us.
Surprisingly, you don't notice anybody who seems out of the ordinary. No one seems to be suspicious or following you. You feel like you are not being perceived.
Oh, well, I mean, we look clear. We look clear.
I mean, I have been sort of like looking at just kind of keeping a passive perception open, just in case of weird stuff. But I will leave the interrogation of Asher just well enough good alone now.
Eventually, you find the street listed on the apothecary notes, and from there you see a building that matches the description. A well-kept single-floor building with almost entirely glass front and several large flower boxes. You'll see the sign is "Cast Away," but is 3 words, and seems to have a lot of the heraldry on the store sign seems to have been like painted over fairly recently by the quality of it. But yeah, there is a small store.
I'll go up to the door and walk in.
Then do so.
Is it this right here?
It is.
Okay.
And entering the store, you see a well-stocked store of components, herbs, and behind the counter, or floating around the store, a pink-furred, rather elderly-looking tabaxi, who is puffing away at a pipe as he picks through some herbs in a particular planter box. Returns and looks up at you all. Say, yes?
Hiya.
Hello? What ails you today? Come and close the door, close the door. The sounds of the city.
I'm just looking around for now. Mostly looking for various ingredients, spellcasting components, things with which to make some potions of our own.
These tremendously vague terms encompassing the entirety of the schools of alchemy and spellcasting don't allow much room for interpretation, I'm afraid. Do you have any more specifics on what you're looking for?
Yeah. Well, I'll take any fireflies or phosphorescent moss you got. Any little candles, coal, things of that nature. I should probably just stock up on. And then I also
As you're listening through these, it's like, just nodding away, making a bit of a mental list.
We've also been sent by Ardov. He said he would provide us with a couple of healing potions for an errand.
An errand? Well, the less said about that, the better then, yes? A couple of healing potions I am sure that we can accommodate.
I suppose you are getting paid for this in one way or another? Yes?
Oh yes, and the way is in the form of coin. So, your potion today is my payday tomorrow. And yes, Luca, you have in your recipe book the exact ingredients. Items tab, recipe manager, and then you have Ash's alchemy, and
I was looking.
then you have your
Good.
specific recipes and the specific reagents involved.
There it is. I was looking everywhere. I was like, where did we put that? Because it wasn't in my sheet either. Also, I would like to remind you of my background that I posted on my channel. Okay. I will also. Oh, and if you have any bear fat, fleshwort, glow moss, that would also be great. As well as some.
You're looking to dabble in brewing your own, are you?
Oh yeah. But if you have some owl eggs too, that would be great as well. And I'm gonna just look around.
Owl eggs. I believe I may. Before I start fiddling and perusing through shelves, do any of you, sir, around the corner, or you, madam, do you have any items of interest that I can attempt to procure for you?
Yes, actually. It depends on the price, but you wouldn't happen to have the eyes of a creature with who can see in the dark? It's not as common as an ingredient, I know, but any creature would do, as long as they can see in the dark.
I can take a look. I shall have to check in the back. If you would excuse me for a moment. If you feel a breeze, fear not. It is simply my spectre friend who deals with thieves. He will do you no harm. And he steps into the back.
How long have you been brewing potions for, Asher?
I mean, my first potion was made of mud and sticks, but you know, like my whole life, really.
Is it another birthright talent you have, or what you taught?
Well, just a knack. I mean, all this birthright sounds. We don't need to give it such titles. Just a knack I have.
That you taught yourself?
Yeah. I mean, you take a few tastes of things, you get a feel for it, and it just is like, oh, I bet if I combine this together, it would do this. And it just kind of comes naturally.
You must be very intelligent. I don't think I could do anything like that.
I don't think it's one of those things where it's intelligence. I think it's just, some people can sew, some people can cook. I make potions.
I think you sell yourself short.
Oh, you're very kind, but I've been doing this for years. It's second nature to me now. He's carrying several armfuls of items which he rather clumsily... There's that thing where he puts it down enough to know that it's not going to go spilling everywhere, and then slowly releases the arms and writes a couple of bottles. I have everything. I had one owl egg left. This highlights my need to procure additional. I shall have to speak to my provisioner and see if he can find any more owl eggs for me after this. The eyes of a creature who can see in the dark, I managed to find 2 giant spider eyes. So, yes. I don't know where the other 6 have gone, as I do not recall ever selling any of these, nor in fact how long they have been in the storage. They do not appear to have putrefied, though, which is very reassuring. You know, the rate at which these things putrefy or do not is always very, very interesting to me. You know, once I kept hold of a bear liver for almost 3 years, and it was still usable in the potion that I made. Very, very impressive. I don't recall what kind of bear it was. Do you know that there are 3 species of bear in the Amnian region? Which is actually more than in most locations.
What 3?
Brown bear, cave
Uh,
bears, which used to be called dire bears, but they were reclassified a few years back for reasons that I don't quite recall. The council always gets involved in these sort of logistical and taxonomical issues and the renaming of species. And I recall that there used to be a different name for that's neither here nor there. And the 3rd type of bear is actually the sloth bear, which is a tremendously aggressive bear despite its name, but a lot smaller than the others.
does this type of bear have 2 thumbs?
That's a drop bear.
Oh.
So there's 4 kinds of bears then.
The dwarf, who I am very aware you are referring to, for I have frequented the Blink Dog, is not actually a bear.
Oh.
I have a tome on the matter that I can get for you with more information. It's from a different sort of genus that isn't actually from the Sword Coast at all. And heads into the back again, muttering away.
He's a knowledgeable guy.
For sure.
DM, I have put my shopping list into the Foundry chat. I don't know what all of that he has. Some are more mundane than other.
Somewhere, of course, but maybe I'll find it next time you're back. I can't possibly recall. No owl eggs, I'm afraid.
Oh.
They appear to be... Ah! Yes, I was just in there, of course. Sorry, the academia talk took me elsewhere. I've already procured the eggs for you. Yes, here they are, of course. This would run the sum, my dear, of 1 gold and 2 silver.
How much of that is my spider eyes?
Oh, none of it. Are you putting it all in together?
No, I was worried you were.
Your spider eyes would be 3 silver.
Looking at what he has together there for me for the 1 gold, 2 silver, what all do we have of my shopping list?
And you make your shopping list would be 1 gold, 2 silver.
Oh, okay. Even though it's just 1 egg. Move the S off of that. Okay. I will pull out that coin and remove it from my inventory. Just, do you have any sort of something I can put the egg in until, and oh, I'm so sorry. Do you have any spare bottles or vials?
Of course I do. How many vials would you require?
I've got some, but might as well get some some extra while I'm at it. So we'll say 3 or 4.
4. Let's have a look here. Have a satchel you can put your egg in. And he brings like a completely unsuitable, like over the shoulder messenger bag style bag that this egg would just roll around in.
Oh, no, you know what? I'll figure out something, but thank you.
Okay, let's have a look. A silver for another 4 vials.
Right?
So if
How
you
many
want
silver
to
and 1 gold?
10.
Yeah, 10.
Okay.
The 2 golds we got 2 golds for everyone, right?
Yeah, 2 gold, 2
for-
gold
yes.
each. Yeah.
2
Which
gold
I did.
each.
Yeah, which I did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
because it was, cause it was half a gold per bandit killed. I did not apply that to your inventory.
I did to mine.
I've
Okay,
just done.
cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, have you marked your gold down, Luca? For
Yes.
this purchase? And then I will add all that shit to your bags when
Thank
we
you.
finish the session. You also need 2 healing potions. Who is going to carry them? Just so I know where to put them.
Siri was the one asking about them, so I will let her grab those.
I reckon we should give at least 1 to Atticus.
Yeah,
But he's
then I'll
not-
give mine.
But he's not here.
He seems
Yeah.
he seems to be finding himself in the most trouble, was all.
And the other one I'll give to Asher, I think.
Well, thank you.
Okay, for ease of not juggling things later, I will put one of these in Atticus's inventory now, and we will just say that you gave it to him when you see him back at the inn, yeah?
Yes. And I'm gonna discount 3 silver and add 2 giant spider eggs to my thing.
Eyes.
Yeah? What did I say? Legs. Okay.
Eyes.
Eyes, yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought you said eggs and then legs. Like, no!
I think I did. I can't type and think.
Not many potions and elixirs that utilize spider eyes. Are you brewing anything interesting there?
Not
Speaking
really.
of-
Sorry.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not a brewer. But it's interesting. Did you know, if you mix this with ink and you tattoo it on someone's skin, you can temporarily gain the essence of the night vision onto oneself. Now, of course, it doesn't last very long, but it's a way of keeping the essence of the creature alive a little bit longer, and it's useful.
I'm not entirely certain that is fully correct. My understandings on the matter are that there is a certain magical involvement that must be possessed by the artist in order for this to work. I have spent some time over at the Philinctory, purely on an academical basis, speaking to the proprietor, and they use a magical element to their craft. Were a layman to pick up a needle and attempt this, they would probably just poison or vandalize the subject of their art. So if you have not undertaken this sort of art before, I would caution.
Are you sure your information is quite correct? I mean,
I've spoken at great length with experts in the field on this matter as a fellow purveyor to another.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I certainly have done it before, and
And this effect was successful that you've spoken of.
it was temporary, but there was some success in it. Yes.
And you should head over to a phylactery and speak to Ayesh as one esteemed artist to another and make your acquaintance, and she can perhaps verify. No, not verify, that's impolite of me. She can perhaps guide and assist you, and perhaps you could exchange ideas and pitches. I don't know how to explain it. I'd appreciate, but it isn't quite as precise a science as the alchemical arts, but there is a bit of an artistic flair to it, is there not? Which I undertook in my past. I was a keen pottery student in my past. I created many vases and fine carafes and several cups and one particularly impressive bowl. It has been some time, though, since I have taken myself to the pottery wheel. As one gets older, the fur between one's pads tends to grow a bit longer and coarser than it did in my youth, and this makes the pottery wheel rather difficult to work, temperamental almost. Have you ever taken pottery for yourself? I've known several people who were keen potters.
The name of sorry, I didn't catch the name of the artist. And
Ayesh.
Ayesh.
Yes. I don't know if she her skill for pottery remains unknown to me. I've never seen her, and she doesn't own a pottery wheel from what I've seen in her establishment. Small. It's a rustic.
Near?
A rustic establishment. Oh, several blocks away to the north or to the south. I haven't been there in some time.
Have you lived here all your life?
I did a brief stint in Kalimshan when I was a younger man, but other than that, yes, I've lived in Athkatla nigh on 120 years now.
Do you have any advice? I've got a good friend. She's
Plant
thinking
your
about
crops early.
starting a potion stall somewhere in the city.
Well, the city is well stocked for alchemical thing. I don't see what need there would be to start up another store. There's several of the establishments we have here are long, well established. Some of them have been open over 100 years, and I simply don't see the market for it.
Well, are you the only stall, or are there more? Shop.
No, there are others. It is a large city, but any new business surely needs to have a niche. I don't understand what the need would be elsewhere. You come here, you get quick, expedient, concise service from a knowledgeable individual, and other establishments in the city are much the same. Third Eye, Potion and Sundry, over in the Wave District. Miss Trevally is an absolute consummate professional.
Surely a city this large can you always use fresh new talent. Keep things interesting.
Know anything about that. People stick a bezoar at anything and claim that they're an alchemist now, and I think it's all very terribly unprofessional and unbecoming, really, in some ways. Some people thinking they can just start up Edge, just burst into an established marketplace already and just shudder it away while he's going through his products.
I'll make sure I let my friend know your opinion.
Yes. Tell them to go to Baldur's Gate.
It's nice to meet you, Agrippa.
And you, yes.
Jim, as I'm browsing all these shelves, is anything else popping out at me? Like, what kind of stuff do we got in here?
this does appear to be a very, very basic, but well stocked. The building is nicer than the stock. The stock is very, very standard. You don't find any choice finds, but from the fact that he seemed so surprised, but he did manage to actually have some spider eyes, you feel like that is probably a bit of an unexpected win in terms of his inventory.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for all of this. We'll make sure to come back next time we need to stock up. And I will
Yes.
head for the door with my stuff.
My regards to Ardif when you next see him.
Actually, before we go,
Yes?
sorry, I would take your thoughts on Ardov. You seem to know each other for long.
He's always been very forthright and straight in his dealings with me. He doesn't linger on payment. He doesn't make undue demands. He's always courteous, respectful of an established tradesman in the city who has thought, understands the way this city runs and how it used to run, and I often give him my thoughts and my counsel on ways that the city could be improved, as I do with other dignitaries as and when I find them. I feel it's an important part of being a responsible community member to be active and involved in one's community and to try and shape the governance and how these places should be run. You know, the guards never come around as much as they used to. Guards used to walk around in threes. I'm going past my window. I have many windows, as you can see. If I just step here, I can see either way, almost entirely down the Aventine in either direction. The guards used to pass by every 25 minutes, and you could see that it was different guards. This isn't just some bored motley crew doing a loop. Rigid, thorough guard patrols. The city was safe. And now I used to be able to leave my store with the door open if I popped out on an errand. And now I cannot. Now I have to employ mystical forces to keep the unseen corners of my humble store safe. If I even wish to pop in and use the privy, people say that it's just because the city is larger and more difficult to patrol, but I think it's a microcosm of larger issues. I think the city is in a full societal decline, as is all of the Sword Coast.
What do you think that is?
Of what?
Why do you think that the city is in a sociological decline? When did it?
No respect. Nobody has respect anymore. Nobody respects their parents. Nobody respects their community leaders. Nobody respects the guards. When I was but a kid, if a guard caught me up to no good and gave me a gauntlet around the head, I'd go home and my father would give me another one, because I must have deserved it, so he'd say. Now, you have these urchins and these pickpockets, and they don't answer to parents, they answer to these gang leaders who have them up to no good, smuggling things in, smuggling things out, turning over businesses. There's no respect in the youth.
Big problems.
Indeed, yes. I've often said so. I turn up to council meetings whenever they're open forum, and I try to raise these concerns in the clearest and most concise possible terms. Never am I taken seriously.
I should like to see one of these public forums one day.
Yes,
Is there
well,
some sort of notice board where they get posted?
They occur every 2 months outside the gates of the Scepter District. The next one, I believe, will be in around 5 weeks.
Well, I'm not sure we'll stick around that long, but if we do, might poke my head in. It was nice to meet you, Agrippa, and
Yes.
hope to see you again.
Yes, yes. Tell your friend no room for more alchemists in Athkatla.
I shall certainly do so.
A good day to you all. Please close the door on your way out. People never close the doors, and yet you just say, oh, well.
I think there's a perfect niche for you. He wouldn't be so outspoken and vocal if he thought you would be no threat. So it bodes well, I think.
Yeah, well, and this is an established shop. I'd be a stall in the bazaar, so different area. Not too worried about it.
I would like to go in search for this artist, if you don't mind. I don't know if we have anything more pressing.
I don't have to be back to the coronet until this evening, so yeah, you gonna get a tattoo?
Oh,
I didn't know you could do that with the ink.
Well, this is my work, and she shows her. I don't know if you've got the art up, but she's got like
I
sort
can
of
get the art
tattoos
up.
down her neck. This is my own work. My mother taught me. She was a true artist. She is a true artist. But I have run out of ink. It happens quite often. It can be a little bit expensive, and I was hoping to get some more.
So what does this one do?
This one does nothing. It's just aesthetic.
Ah.
But there's just a couple I know that have some uses, and I'm by no means proficient in any way or form. But well, I have an idea. Since we might be getting ourselves into some ruckus tomorrow, thought we might have every advantage we could. But I need some ink and some time.
Well, do we need to? You've got the spider eyes. Do we need ink separate, or will the tattoo place have ink and you can just mix it?
I wasn't planning on using the spider eggs this time around, but I will need ink regardless. The spider eggs I just thought would be good to keep in case we need them at some point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's go find this philinctory.
Yeah, and as you are heading in the general direction of north or south.
Do we know? Because he said north or south, so
you were told a couple of blocks north or south.
Yeah, so
what else do we find along the way? Like, if we go...
Well, I think we should take a 10-minute break and pick back up with you walking in most directions, and we'll talk about what you find on your way. So yeah, we will be back. It is 5 past. Let's come back at 1:15.
Perfect. All right.
I did get everybody right. Cool, we're back. So yeah, you head. Well, Asher, you tell me. You said north and south. Do you head north first, or do you head south?
I am going to find a person on the street. Okay. Be like, excuse me, until someone stops. Do you know the way to Philinctory?
Make me a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a few people around, but you quite quickly identify somebody who has full sleeves of ink and single them out as somebody to ask.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
Do you know the way to Philinctory?
Oh, yeah, Flinkdery. About 10 minutes walk that way, pointing west.
All right. Thank you so much.
Little place. Looks like it's about to fall down. But, so don't be looking for no big sort of shop or big tavern or keep. It's small place, like a back shed. But it's nice
All right.
inside. I got my my latest one done there.
They do good work then?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I rate it very, very well.
All right.
That's dwarvish for strength.
Yeah.
Do any of you speak dwarvish? How many of you have dwarvish in your languages?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you again, and I'll turn and look at the other two. So west, which was not what we were told. And I will turn in the direction of west, start walking. And then I am going to turn to Obsidian and be like, all right, so we did a apothecary shop for me. Atticus is sleeping off his hangover back at the tavern, and Siri is getting her tattoo shop. What's your errand that we're running today?
Oh, I've already mentioned that. There's not much I need.
Nothing you want to do for just fun? We could do an ice cream shop.
Happily accompany you. Everything, every single part of this is quite new to me.
Have you had ice cream?
No.
All right. Well, we're adding that to the list then. It's frozen, it's cold, it's creamy, it's delicious, it comes in all flavors. Just trust me, it's one of the best things on the planet.
All right.
All right. We'll get you some ice cream, but you don't need, I don't know, scale polish or weapon stuff or
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
Oh no.
But you can't, these sort of
He
questions.
really said that.
Yeah, do you know whetstone for your pointy ears? It's just like, unbelievable.
But yeah, there's no shops
Council
you need.
Of Five.
I'm quite all right, but yeah, ice cream will do. Whatever that is.
Right.
Let's get this ink thing first.
Okay.
How have you managed to put that on your neck? Seems like it would be very uncomfortable, angle-wise.
Oh, I thought you meant it's not uncomfortable. It's on my skin.
No, the application, I mean.
I guess maybe your arms are a little bit thicker than mine. For me, it's not that complicated. Just I use a mirror, and then I just usually put the design on with some paint, and then I just follow with the ink.
It's fairly intricate. Seems like that would require quite some coordination.
Yes, it is a very meditative process for me, actually.
A mirror.
Would Siri show up in a mirror, Deidre? No, that's one. Here we go. That's a facial expression I was looking for.
Well, I guess we can certainly see if there's a mirror around. Yes, I find that when I concentrate very hard on it, my mind clears. I focus only on the design and the sensation on my skin. And everything else melts away. I
The
find it
sensation being stabbed repeatedly.
well, sure. But you see, pain is an alarm system. Pain is the way your body tells you there's something wrong and something you should fix quickly if possible. But you can turn the alarm off with some practice. You can let your body know that the pain is not necessary because there's nothing wrong. And what you are doing, you're doing because you want to. And I found that once you are a little bit practiced with that, it's quite effective. Your body relaxes, you feel the sensation, and it is, you know, a feeling, but it doesn't have that strange, angsty, alarming quality to it. At least for me.
Obsidian will look down the length of his arm and sort of his gaze will rest upon the grafted chunks of stone that are embedded in his skin and say nothing to that assertion.
Seems like a backstory thing that Sida wouldn't pick up on.
Yeah, he turns and just... Anyway.
Right.
But if you want, one day we can try it.
Meditative pain. That sounds interesting.
As with anything, I mean, you are a trained fighter. I saw you move. That requires some practice and some training. You know what sore muscles feel like, surely. And it is painful, but it's just not alarming pain. I feel once you take the pressure out of the pain or the alarm or the fear, the sensation itself is not that bad. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, surely there is not.
As you're walking along, you pass an alleyway. There are many alleyways, but as you pass this particular one, you see it heads off down the back street. There are two small children, neither older than 10, who are absolutely sprinting in your direction. They look like they're set to give you a wide berth. They see you about 20, 30 feet away, and like this isn't some running past, pickpocket. They are they are giving you a wide berth as they go sprinting by, and you hear an angry, more sort of distressed yell come from down the alleyway out of sight. Just a single and these kids look terrified and come sprinting by.
They look scared?
Yes.
I will keep an eye to see where they go. Like if they, which direction they turn.
They turn right and just run, occasionally glancing over their shoulder.
Obsidian will more focus on the direction from which the shout has come.
Yeah. You see it's a back alley that turns off into a bit of like a service street. But you wait and you see nothing.
Asher continues to walk on like none of her concern. She's
Okay.
Sida would be curious to see the origin of the scream. I guess Obsidian too. So might just kind of turn the head to see where the scream came from.
Yeah, and you see. They said, "Well, let me show you what you see and don't see." What do you say?
So many maps. How would you come into possession of such treasure?
I made them myself. So being sort of at the end of the street, looking down, you see the street just comes to an end. I can increase your vision on the scene a little bit, actually. Oh, no, I can't. It's buildings. Yeah, so you see the road reaches its end and turns off to the right, but there is no one in sight.
Can you recreate the movement of the kids? Sorry, so did they come like left to right?
They came from left to right, yeah.
Left to right.
And we'll say that, you know, a couple of tiles off the map to the right of you all is the main road. This
And
is just,
where the screams come from?
the screams came from this direction.
As Asher continues to walk, Sida's gonna look at Obsidian, seeing that Obsidian is looking at the direction of the scream.
I'll stop so you guys aren't following and look back.
Do you want to go check that out? I think it sounds like we should go check it out.
As
Yeah.
well.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Do you need some assistance? My good fellow, hello? That does not sound good. That sounds
Right.
like when Atticus has been drinking and eating things he shouldn't.
By the way, is the cutoff of our vision?
I don't know what's causing that, because
Okay.
there's no wall there.
I see.
Right.
That is insane.
But when you
City
pass
was
through
possessed.
it, that's why I just moved to. When you pass through it, there's no like, haha, surprise. I'm not sure why there's a vision blocker there. Is Asher going with, or is she remaining at the mouth of the alley as they head in?
She's
So
gonna
it
wait
is
there for
out.
a long time and then eventually start moving this way, like,
Sword is out, and she whispers. Probably Obsidian might think Sida's whispering to him. She just says, "Get ready, I might need you." Actually, wait, no. Sorry. Redcon, sorry, I keep forgetting about this. You hear birdsong, whistles, and chimes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting
Hey.
that.
Cool. Perfectly normal.
are we sure we want to check this out? Get some ice cream tattoos. I feel like we have. All right.
I mean, there might be an ice cream shop around the corner for all we know.
Sure.
Doubtful.
All right. Lead on.
Sword out. What sort of, like, what's the street? Is it residential? Is there anyone out? Are there shops?
It looks to be like the back of shops. Like, you know, a lot of service entrances and like the sluices being thrown out. This is an alleyway. There are no open shops or doors.
Hello?
You hear it come from that direction.
Which direction?
North.
Sword is out. Just
Yeah, of course. Getting
okay. If you are trying to go to the toilet, could you just let us know? Because we're checking up on you, and I do not want to see that.
But it's just, you thought it was a plot hook. It was just a guy having a shit in an alleyway.
If this is what's happening, let us know, because we are about to walk in on you.
Just leave me alone, all of you.
It sounds like you are distressed. Can we help you? Hello? I'm looking at Obsidian. I'm kind of like,
Did tell us to go our own way.
yeah,
Not a bad
but
idea. We could turn back now.
he's right here, and we're right here.
That might not be a good thing.
Oh, it just hurts. It hurts. It always hurts.
My good fellow, you sound very disturbed.
As you
Might
step
be
around a little bit,
Might
did you
be
use-
the good kind of pain.
you see a tabaxi who is dressed in very dishevelled and spoiled, but clearly fine wear, like a very good surcoat, but looks like they've been out for a few days, and he has both hands on the wall and is leant down. It is beyond heaving. You see that there is a little bit of a blood trail leading over from a few steps away towards the wall. Whatever he's trying to get up, it seems to be beyond throwing up. And between wretches, he's just, you can just hear this frantic, desperate, almost like pleading mutters. But yeah, he seems to be oblivious to your presence.
City is going to rush, seeing the blood, and say, "Are you wounded?"
And he sort of half turns towards you in like shock as he sort of doubles up against the wall a bit. You see his eyes are both just slightly glowing purple.
Did it, Sarah?
Can I make a medicine check
Yeah.
for purple eyes? Attributes, medicine.
You are aware of no medical conditions but manifesting glowing purple eyes. But yeah, as you approach, say, "You need to stay back from me." And there's a very he's holding a dagger, but you see it is the clumsiest, most half-hearted warding sort of, "Stay away!" Sort of
Can I try
swipe, yeah.
Can I try to grapple him in an attempt to eventually disarm him?
Certainly.
Okay.
You make an athletics, and he can make an athletics or an acrobatics. Spoiler for him, it doesn't really matter.
26.
You absolutely tell me how you intend to grapple.
I'm gonna put him on a non-choky chokehold, sort of armed like this, other arm like that. So like basically pinning him between like the shoulder blade and the neck, and going, "Calm down, drop the weapon, drop the dagger." And as he does, she's gonna kick it towards Obsidian.
Yeah, and you, as he's sort of squirming away against you, make me a perception check with advantage. This is just for Siri. As you have him sort of grappled and you're pressed right up behind him as you sort of twist, and you feel different movements you feel something moving up his back that is not him moving. There is something between the two of you that sort of against your chest, sort of between his shoulders, starts to contort a little bit, and you hear the telltale crack of a bone, knowing that it wasn't you who did it. He's,
What is happening right now?
There, Sarah, he's. Come here for a minute.
This man needs urgent attention.
Yeah, come here. Come here. Let him just listen.
We're gonna
I'm gonna
I don't know what
cautiously
he
step
needs.
forward, and I'm just gonna. I think he is unwell, and like the way she says it, like unwell is capitalized. I think you just gotta let him deal. Sometimes this happens. We should go.
Do you know what his ailment is?
I mean, not exactly, but yes. But we should go.
I can't leave this fellow to suffer here alone. We must just take him to a doctor, a cleric.
I don't think they're gonna be able to help him.
If you know what's going on, you might as well say.
I think he's just unwell. He doesn't have what he needs anymore, and it's hurting. We should go.
I don't know how to do that.
Sir, what was it? What is it you need? And obviously, I'm unaware of the crawling things. So
I need them. I need them. They said they'll be back. They said they'll be back. And he sort of heaves and retches again.
Who would be
Oh,
back?
those voices.
Who would be back? What are you waiting for? Who are you waiting for?
they're not coming back, sir.
Do you understand what he's saying? I don't understand what he's saying.
I think he took some drugs.
Did you take some drugs? Good sir.
He doesn't answer. He's clearly in the throes of great physical distress. Sir, did you do a weed?
Asher's just gonna like kind of throw her hands up and just kind of sit on the edge of this crate. Look, it's like, all right.
As he screams again, you see there's just a slight outpouring of steam from his nostrils and his ears.
Sid is gonna step away, no longer grappling. Is this side effects you've seen before? From drugs?
The steam.
And his pain seems to double as his eyes glow a bit more, and he, no longer grappled, turns to run for a moment, but then just retches and involuntarily a huge purple torrent of magical energy erupts from his mouth and
Yeah,
blasts.
I'm gonna dive onto the floor.
Yeah, blasts, leaving a residue that you can hear burning and crackling on the side of a building as he falls to all fours and gives a long scream that just trails into a guttural moan and slumps
Okay, I'm gonna
forward.
try to knock him out. I'm just gonna try and knock him out.
Yeah. As you step forward to knock him out, you see a familiar glass come over his eyes, even as you approach to strike him. And it is apparent that the man has just died.
What in the hells? I'm going to sort of grab him, close his eyes.
They continue to be glowing purple as you do.
I'm gonna walk over and just kind of reach past Sari and start patting down his pockets.
Make me an investigation check.
I'd like to assist if possible because I'm also there and also I'm proficient. No, I'm
Does
not.
that mean I get advantage?
If she was proficient, it would.
Hold on. No, but I
He's
have a passive.
prone and not resisting.
I would say that you find an empty vial on him.
Yep.
And also a key.
I'll take both. I'm gonna sniff the vial. I assume that it smells familiar.
Yes.
I'll hold it straight. I think he was just unwell.
Is that a potion? A medicine?
She's gonna look at you for a second like, no, honey. But she's gonna say, no, no. I think it was drugs. I think he maybe took too much of something he shouldn't have. Had a bad reaction.
Do you recognize the drug? Perhaps it's this new silk route, they said.
No. No. It's not the new silk route. Unless that's another name for it, but no. But there was nothing we could do for him. He was clearly already.
City's gonna cover him with his own shawl that he's wearing, the screen shawl he's wearing. So we should find the guard and just so that they can take him away. Maybe he has a family.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone die of drugs before. It looked like something was moving in his body when I had him really close to me.
What?
Yeah, I could feel some sort of movement between his back and me, like something coming up from his spine.
I'm gonna eye the body and then just cautiously kind of move him onto his stomach and try and feel his back.
Yeah, you feel that his back seems quite misshapen of what you'd expect. Just almost like there's another sternum on his back. The bones don't sit quite right. No. But it was before. No doubt.
Is this normal?
What is this?
I'm gonna look at Siri and Obsidian and just be like, All right, I just hold on a second, and I'm gonna take out my dagger and just make a little incision next to his back.
Yeah.
Is there any weird, crazy purple pus or something that comes oozing out?
No.
Does it
No.
seem like there's more bone under there?
It just seems. It feels like you're cutting in. If you're trying to cut someone's rib cage, there's flesh, there's skin, there's bone, but there isn't
So
any.
it's moved.
There isn't any sort of like. Oh, here comes all the purple. Nothing like that.
So it's
Right.
so he still has a rib where the ribs are supposed to be.
Yeah.
So he's got 2 sets of ribs.
Seems so.
I'm gonna wipe my
without much
dagger off
further
on him.
investigation. This is a dagger
Yeah,
tip in
I'm
a
not.
back alley
I'm
we're
not
doing.
looking to
This isn't an
autopsy. No, I'm gonna wipe off my dagger tip on him and sheath it, and just I don't know. I don't know anything about the bones or moving. I just know this person was unwell.
Don't worry, it looks like they were stabbed to death now.
I was thinking that.
I'm gonna flip him back onto his back, making sure the cover is placed again, and I'll just stand up and step back. All right, well, we can notify a guard on the way to the tattoo parlor.
Sorry
Anything
to have
else anyone
put
wants
you
to do?
in danger.
I'm gonna tuck that vial into my bag, though. Waste not, whatnot.
Are you trying to do that sneakily, or just are you just openly pocketing it from the others?
Yeah. Openly.
Yeah. You both see Asher pocket a vial and the key.
I mean, it's empty, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, you carry back on your way. You find the tattoo parlor only about 2 minutes more down the road. Because you find the tattoo parlor before you see any guards, and there is a small, as promised, ramshackle looking building. Seems more like a grand outhouse than any sort of building. With a extremely basic, particularly given the nature of the building, the nature of the business, a particularly bland sign outside that just reads the Philandery.
The Philandery.
You wanna go in or find a guard first, Sarah?
Since we're just here.
As you're approaching, you hear from the building a
Sounds like a tattoo parlor. Where is this door?
Sounds like the back alley we have just left.
Hello?
Hopefully less puke this
Is
time.
it a private session?
Inside, you see there is a large table, a wooden bench in the middle of a room, upon which is a particularly large, strapping, muscular Goliath lying on his back, who is clenched into the table in panic. Sat with a bit of an amused smile over her face is an elf, and she is tracing her fingers over his chest. And as she does, there's a glow, and you see the ink, fresh ink in a couple of colours, is wherever her fingers pass. And she just sort of shakes her head and says, coward. And she looks up and sees you all. It's like, hello. Not really taking walk-ins this afternoon.
Hello. Are you Yesh?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Yesh. Nice to meet you. I don't wish to take much of your time. I can see you're busy. I was just wondering if
he's
you...
done. Go on.
I was wondering if you had any ink for sale.
Oh? And she sort of catches a glance at your work. She's like, I didn't do that, did I? Where did
I
you
don't
have
believe
that
you did.
done?
It's my own work.
And she leaves him whimpering, gets up and comes over. It's like, very steady hand. May I see the rest?
Sure.
Providing it's
hold
decent,
on.
of course.
It takes off like a chain, and it goes from like the neck, half her shoulder, little bit down the chest, and kind of like forearm until here. That's as far as it goes, and a little bit like.
Well, that's
around the shoulder.
absolutely spectacular. How many sittings you do that in?
This one's quite a few, actually. Sittings just a few hours, but it took a few years for me to, well, for the design to, the design.
Say no more. I know exactly what you mean.
Do you? Because it's really rather unusual.
The design forms in your mind over the years as you learn more about who you are and what makes you you, and the design presents itself. The more you understand yourself as you grow, the more you understand the design. Or am I wrong? The complexity
Well,
of the answer suggests I'm right in part and right in not.
that is a very good way of putting it. Yes, I guess it is definitely a matter of figuring out, and well, it's taking some time, but I'm in no rush.
None of us are.
And your craft is amazing. I saw you do it with your fingers.
Needles, so heavy-handed, cumbersome. They break. My gift is I can channel my art through myself.
That's incredible. I'm glad I got to catch a little glimpse of it. Well, I again don't want to take out too much of your time. I wanted to add some ink into my own body, ideally tonight or this afternoon, and I'm running woefully short of the ink.
She goes over and gets a drawer from the little metal, almost like trolley, and pulls out a bottle of ink.
Oh, this is wonderful. What do I owe you?
And she just puts her arm out, sort of offers you her hand up by the wrist. It's like, your autograph. And you see that the arm has quite a few different signatures and stupid doodles that some people have done. Her left inner forearm seems to be a much more amateur, almost like sign my cast when I broke my leg, sort of level amateur compared to the fine art on the rest of her. Doesn't have to be an autograph, can just be a quick doodle.
Okay. Okay. I'm delighted. My instruments, and she takes out of her backpack the toolkit. A set of like needles, a place where the ink goes.
No. You misunderstand. Use my hand. You drive.
Oh. Okay. Well, I haven't really done this before. You sure you're happy for me to just take it on a?
And she's like, see that on my wrist? That's meant to be a beholder. It can't be worse than that.
Well, I guess we shall see. And Sita is going to ask her to find somewhere comfortable and take her hand. And Sita is going to visualize the name that I can't pronounce. Ayesh?
Mm-hmm.
Ayesh?
Aiysh, yeah.
How it would sound, in Celestial in a way. I guess it's the same, but it's not. Just go with it. And it is a pattern. And as she grabs her hand, she begins to draw this pattern that is like circular. And as it goes to complete the circle, it kind of like crosses through it. And it's like and then there's like a squiggly line. I can see it in my head. It's okay. No one needs to see it. It's basically like this, and then like that.
Make me a perception check with advantage.
Perception check?
Mm-hmm. With advantage.
Double threes.
Okay.
But my passive is so high.
What is your
18?
Okay, that's, to be fair, I should go with that, I suppose, because it's so you were noticing you weren't actively looking for something. So, yes, I will actually on this occasion just feed you this. As you're doing this, you have to keep reminding me of your passive for a little while until I get the flow of it. You notice that after a couple of seconds of you making this pattern, there is very little of you having to like correct and steer and move her hand. She understands what you're trying to write, and there's a slight smile at the corner of her mouth.
How are you doing this?
It's
Please,
familiar. It's
very good at
familiar
keeping
to me.
secrets.
Oh, so lowers her voice a little bit. Nobody has called me by that in some time.
I see. Wow. Well, it is an honor to meet you, and thank you for letting me feel your talent almost as if it was mine. You can do this innately?
I can.
You weren't taught?
Say again?
You weren't taught?
We were all taught in one way or another, were we not?
Could I learn?
It would depend on your teacher. Not something that I could teach.
Oh.
It would depend on your teacher. And it is loaded with a very obvious undertone for you.
Okay.
You will both
Well,
return if you want any work doing. She says this specifically to you and Asher. And then after a beat, she sort of adds in obsidian as if sort of forgetting herself. Like, and your companion, of course.
I've never had anyone do any work on me before, but for you, perhaps you could help me with the pattern. I like that very much.
Of course. That'll be fine with me. No fee between friends.
When are you available?
I tend to not work the weekends, so I'm 3 then.
Okay. Well, I will be back for sure. I have so many questions, but I can see you're busy and already taking a lot of your time.
That's fine. He needed time to recover. Didn't you, Urgash? That was a bit of a...
Well, I'm
You
sure
have
your
an
touch.
entire tentacle left to do. You won't be gone anytime soon.
I'm sure your touch will heal him quickly, just fine.
And she smiles and just slides her stool back over before cracking her knuckles and into his chest again.
I will be back, Ayash. And she's going to make some chime noises that are basically thank you and an honor to meet you.
She smiles and just sort of starts humming while she works, and it's, although it isn't words, it is the melody. You anyone who understands Celestial recognizes it as being hummed in Celestial, if that makes sense. To you, Obsidian, it just sounds like a bit of a melodious wind chime noise. It doesn't match with the movement of her mouth at all. It's like a bad film dub.
And I guess we leave the parlor.
Sure.
Jim, what is this music?
Can't
And why
remember.
do I know it?
Can't remember. Don't know what it's from.
Liar. It's driving me crazy. All right. As Siri walks out, I'm gonna be like, ice cream?
Who's pinging? Someone's pinging rapidly.
Me,
What's
I
up?
can't. Oh yeah, no, it's because it's.
We're
I was trying to
paused,
move.
yeah.
They were paused, and I was trying to move myself. City is visibly elated, wide-eyed, going like, an Asmar. We found an Asmar in this town. And she's just kind of like continuing on. And she does tattoos. That's amazing. That's just amazing. I mean, I wonder if I can learn how to do that with her hand. Did you see how she was doing that with her hand?
Yeah, it was weird that she was just using her fingers. No needles. Hey. All right.
Wouldn't that be preferable?
Didn't seem to stop it from hurting.
The hurt is in the mind. You can change it. She's just walking around with a big goofy smile.
I'm gonna try and spot someone and ask if they know of any ice cream parlors. Place where we can get ice cream.
As you do, to your horror, they seem a bit nonplussed by what you're describing.
What?
No, I'm joking. Imagine a world with no ice cream.
Literally
But also,
unplayable.
I'm gonna be rich. Make it myself.
So, I know there's an ice store in the Gem District, but
No, not ice. Like a,
and sort of looks
a
you up and
frozen
down.
sweet shop.
I know what you mean. It's called an ice store. And she looks you up and down and say, I don't see you being allowed into the Gem District any more than I would be. Other than that, I know there's a guy who sets a stall up at Walkeen's Promenade on Sundays. That's all I know of it.
All right. Well, thank you.
Another day.
I
then.
can't believe the DM is gatekeeping us from ice cream. That
I
is
know.
absolute
What a
nonsense.
dick.
What is
Then
that?
you hear, hey kids, you want some ice cream?
All right, Gem District. Hold on, I'm checking the map. We're in the what district right now?
We're in the bridges. No,
We're in
wait, are
Bridge
we?
District.
No,
You've
we
almost
had to move.
No,
Yeah,
we're in
you're
the
in the-
River District, right?
Nope, you cross back over. You're on the Centre District now. You are south of you're in the district directly south of the river, on the west end
Okay,
of it.
cool.
I will give you, if you want to use your inspiration, Asher, you can create a new ice cream store in Athkatla that pops up right next to you.
I have to use my inspiration.
If you wanted to create it here and now.
I'm gonna turn to Obsidian and be like, all right, Sunday, we're going to the promenade and we are getting you ice cream.
And then you hear the woman continue talking to her friend as she's walking along and say,
All right.
shall we go to the avocado store? Oh, yes, I'd love an avocado. And they step into a little cafe down the road.
I'm gonna follow them. If I actually genuinely hear that and it's not just the GM messing with me.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, wait, Obsidian. Just kidding. Let's go. Let's follow them for a sec.
Mhm.
And yeah, you find a very, very small, but very nicely decorated in like dark greens. It's all very smoothed over, heavily sanded wood, not the big rough hewn planks that a lot of places in this part of town seem to have for interior. A small coffee shop. And yeah, they are serving coffees, and they do have quite a price. It is quite pricey. Well, they do have. I forgot to.
I'll tell Saturday and Obsidian, wait here, and I'll go into the coffee store. What's the price for their affogato?
3 silver each.
That's two great giant spider eyes worth.
I'm gonna walk back out and be like, oh, they don't have any ice cream.
We'll find
We'll have to
some
try
on
the place
Sunday.
on Sunday. Yeah.
How about some? What time is it? How about some ale? I could go
Yeah.
check back on Atticus.
We should probably head back anyway so I can meet my guy.
Well,
Yeah.
I need about a few hours to just do some temporary ink on my body.
What
I
did we
wouldn't
put
say
it down?
no to an
Did we put
afternoon
it,
nap.
did we put it
8.
down as 8 hours? Yeah, it's a long rest task. Yeah.
Well, but I would like to not doing whilst everyone else is sleeping.
Mhm.
Yeah, you could spend some time in the afternoon doing it and then still sleep with everybody else.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. So if you
I'll-
wanted to head back to the coronet for some downtime, for a bit of napping, I would say it probably makes sense as you head back for us to wrap up with your arrival, so that we can sort of outline now what tasks you want to do for your afternoon, and then when Atticus is back with us next week, we'll pick up in the evening with Asher, hopefully meeting her contact, however that goes, and then the nighttime and your mission the following day. So
Yeah.
getting back to the coronet. Is there anything that anybody wants to do before we wrap the session up?
I guess I would have wanted to ask Atticus if he had anything he wanted done, seeing that he felt really quite ill, that I like an errand. And then I would have run that quickly before I started.
I presented this to him, and he had nothing that he wanted doing.
Well, that is convenient, and I feel like an amazing sister just for having asked.
He said, "Just bring me back some avocado."
I think I will
and
bring back
drugs.
some. If we can, if there is such a place to get some fresh fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I don't know how much silver you want me to spend or copper, but I'll spend some.
Depends how much. Depends what you're buying, and most of the fruit here is clearly more in line with like sort of Mediterranean here type, style fruits. It is a very Mediterranean is the best sort of comparison for the climate is like here.
I mean, listen, we're quite physical people, so I know for sure Sida would know about the power of banana as a potassium powerhouse, and it looks like Atticus needs some potassium.
Sure.
So maybe just a couple of bananas, and if there's anything vitamin C like, citrusy, like an orange or a grapefruit or a kiwi.
Yep, you're able to get a, if we'll call it a punix, isn't the plastic things, but you're able to get a hand of bananas and a couple of kiwis for 2 silver.
And I would, since we're stopping there, I would ask if Atticus and Asha favor any fruit that they want, that I could purchase for them.
Just take a banana.
Yeah. Any preferred fruits, Zillian?
Yeah, you said Usher and Atticus.
Oh, sorry. Yes,
Okay.
that's just the fact that it's very late here.
I'll have what you are having.
Oh, I think you like kiwi. Have you tried it before? It does something fuzzy to your tongue.
Fuzzy.
Yes, it kind of like stinging a little
I
bit.
will
but
try.
Okay.
Kiwi.
So how much silver was that at the end? 2 silver. What if she's just like spending her money? But the ink was free, so you know.
Yeah. When it comes to Obsidian's declarations, this only decided when we go back to the coronet, correct?
Say again?
We would be going back to the coronet,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we will be crossing a bridge.
Yes.
Therefore, Obsidian would offer a friendly race to Sire.
Yes, so they would gladly accept.
Let's see those 3. Well, is Asha competing, or is she leaving them to it? Okay.
Nope,
Oh,
I'm gonna
before-
stroll leisurely.
Yeah, but before he goes, like, oh, Asha, we're just running, but we're not running from anything. We'll meet
Yeah,
you
I
on the
got
other
it.
side.
I got it now. Yeah.
Obsidian and Sire, make me your first athletics check.
I just want to let everyone know that unlike my brother, I am not cheating. Ooh, that's really not good. That's really not.
As
But
you
maybe you should have.
as you set off, I hate to say it, Siri, banana skin. Little did you realize you dropped one of your bananas, and as you set off, you zip, poof, on the floor. But Obsidian manages to tear off, making an excellent head start. That counts as 2.
Can I
Make me
action search dash? Is that a thing?
Sure, you can. You can
Action search.
You can burst action search to get another roll. You've got to be you're slow. You catch up a little bit, but you're still behind him. Let's have that second roll. Oh, okay. Obsidian, make me another one. Oh, you've done it. It came through at the same time. You actually managed to pull level with him now after your bad initial one. Can you both make me a third roll?
Ah!
You somehow, despite the absolute banana comedy of your start of a race, you managed to just pull ahead of Obsidian in the final couple of feet. Yeah. Somehow clawed it back. Asher is several feet into the bridge.
Yeah.
Good effort. I thought you had it there for sure.
Well,
But you are carrying slightly more weight than I am.
we made
It's
it
still
to the
incredibly
other
impressive.
side. That's what matters.
Indeed. I'm glad you agree.
And as you head into the coronet to wind down for the afternoon before the evening and tomorrow, that is where we will leave it for today. Slightly shorter than usual, but I feel like we filled it well for being a person down. We don't want to get into the important stuff about them. So yes, we will be back next week. You will level up again. No, you don't. We will be back next week. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.